General, I want to thank you all for your statements. I appreciate it very, very much. I'm going to start out with a story that's been well documented over the last 2-3 months. It's about a 21-year-old Eric Guardsman that posted highly classified documents on the internet, including intel about the war in Ukraine. I can tell you I don't know anybody that can tell me why this person had access to this particular classified information, but it is troublesome, and I don't think it gives the Air National Guard a particularly good look. So, General Hokanson, what can you tell me about the status of the investigation?
Chairman, thank you for the question. With respect to the airmen of the Massachusetts National Guard, the Secretary of the Air Force has initiated an IG investigation, which is just about to complete, and we look forward to the results soon. Any and all recommendations they make will obviously be implemented immediately. With respect to the individual, it's an ongoing FBI investigation, and we look forward to the results of that investigation.
So I think we need to learn from the past as we move forward in the future. How confident are you that with the IG information, with the information you know and the people that you've talked to, that this kind of situation will never happen again?
Chairman, I'm very confident this will never happen again based on what we have found. Unfortunately, we've been doing this for a long period of time. A lot of personnel, a lot of units are doing this. This one individual was an individual action and not indicative of the entire system. But we are looking at safeguards that we can put in place that would prevent any individual in the future from ever being able to do this.
Ultimately, this person didn't do it without somebody above him knowing what was going on. Are the people that allowed this to happen being held accountable too?
Yes, Chairman. They have removed some folks temporarily in light of the investigation. Based on the results of the investigation, not only the active Air Force or if it applies to the National Guard, we will take appropriate action against those individuals.
Okay. A couple of the presenters talked about the Angria account. Just for a point of reference, Congress has appropriated $2.9 billion over the last 3 years. And by the way, this was a congressional ad to make sure that the Guard and Reserves have the equipment they need, modern equipment that's ready when you're called upon. And I think it's important we plan for how we utilize this money, and so the taxpayer gets the biggest bang for the buck. At the end of March, basically half the money had been spent. As I said, I think it's important to plan, but I think your needs are great. I don't think anybody would dismiss that. For all of you, and be as brief as possible, why does it seem, at least seem to me, that it's taken so long to get this money out the door to actually get the equipment you need? Whoever wants to start, Ken, it doesn't matter.
Chairman, on behalf of the National Guard, we program to get about a 99 to 100% execution of all our NGRIA funding, and as you mentioned, it's absolutely critical to modernization and also for some of our dual-use equipment. Unfortunately, what we have found is some of the supply chain issues has delayed the delivery of some of those goods, but we are on track to spend all of that money.
Anybody else want to comment? Go ahead. General Daniels, go ahead.
So similar to the National Guard, we take a very hard look at what equipping lines are open, what critical dual-use capabilities are prioritized at the top of the list. Sometimes we cannot get access to that equipment in the sequence that we'd like to get it, but we do monitor a lengthy list of requirements and make sure that we spend those funds judiciously across the 3 years that we have the funds available to us.
Admiral?
Comment was going to be very similar in that with the 3-year look, we phase out the expenditures. There is pressure in a CR environment, however, for new starts or new contracts, which has delayed in some cases what we had intended to originally buy. So we'll probably address that topic at a later moment, but CR certainly have an impact on us.
Okay, General.
Yes, sir. For us, the biggest delay this year was the fact that we wanted to re-roll some of the money you had already approved, and your staff, some who are sitting here, helped us with that. We're going to be 100% committed this year, and as a good teammate, if there's any left over, we'll spend that too.
General Healy.
Yes, sir. The same. The CR does impact our ability to get a start with it, but once we do get started, the money does flow through our proportional multi-year plan of implementation. We plan to fully execute.
Thank you. I got about 20 seconds left. General Hokanson, you talked about 25 flying missions within the Guard. You needed every one of them, I believe is what you said. A-10s are going away, and they should go away. How many missions does that impact?
So Chairman, specific to the A-10s, we have 3 squadrons, and all 3 would convert to a more current aircraft, either F-35, F-15EX, or one of the, what's called a post-block F-16, our newest ones.
Okay, so there are plans for every A-10 mission that goes away in the Guard to replace them with another fighter mission?
Yes, sir. That is the plan that we're working with the U.S. Air Force on, and we believe through fleet leveling and by current scheduled aircraft buys or any additionals, we could provide the ability to do that.
Okay, Susan,